like look back on this moment, talking about me renaming my Zoom name as the time when we reached world stardom.
We could look back on this and say, I could be famous and be known as Big J, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, what name do you want to see in the Sun in the morning? Like the Sun newspaper is me walking out of a hotel room with fucking massive sunglasses on and flip flops and only a dressing gown. Is it Big J or is it Jacob? You know,
I think it's Jacob, because I don't think the mums are gonna like Big J.
No. It's Big J's a bit sort of in your face, isn't it?
It's a bit intimidating almost.
More universal to just say Jacob, I reckon. Sort of bigger demographic. Okay, so we're doing a podcast, aren't we? That's what we're going to try out.
We are. For some reason, we thought it would be a good idea to start a podcast. And we haven't even come up with a name for it, so...
No, and we're not going to say a name now, because to say a name now would be, I think, pushing our luck a bit. All right? It's like... it's just like to come straight in with a name, a logo. We might as well put our fucking merchandise link below now if we're doing that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we find it.
So yeah, currently the Nameless Podcast. Welcome anyone listening. There's probably one of you, but that's all we need, realistically.
Like our mums.
Hi, Mum.
Oh yeah, Mum's seen it like shared on my Facebook link and sent it to my grandma.
But we figured we'd start a podcast, I guess, just because we were bored. Gonna be honest, didn't have a better reason. But we also thought we've got a lot of random crap just to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of shit. Cause like, if anything, being in lockdown and being
the L word.
Yeah, I've dropped it early because everyone needs to know. All right, get your fucking heads out the sand. All right, that's what's going on. No, but being here, you find like I'm on my phone more than I'm ever normally, which is shit in a way. But also, I see loads of new weird stuff. So we can just talk about that, so we don't have to sort of be talking about it on your own in the house.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing. I think we were just randomly talking the other day about. I think it was like 2 a.m. and we just got into random conversations about what we'll be talking on later on in the podcast. The Dream Man.
The Dream Man. The bloke that we don't know his name, but he is the Dream Man.
Yeah, just known as this man, realistically. But yeah, just random things like that we talk about. End up talking about for about 2 hours, 3 hours even.
I'd say a couple of hours, yeah.
If you're going to talk about it for that long, you might as well make it a podcast.
Yeah, get everyone else in on it. And the thing is, like, the this man guy, it's actually quite old. Like, it's a few years ago, but we're bringing it back to talk about because nothing new is really happening. So
yeah, I didn't realize it was like an early 2000s thing, right?
Yeah, I think it was like maybe like 2008, something like that, where he was dicking about. But we're gonna bring it back to life.
Yeah, another resurgence. I think it's already had one resurgence around like 2010, and now we're gonna bring it back again to spook more people out.
Yeah, well, because I saw it, because I messaged you about it, because I saw it on the fucking, you know, those like Instagram pages. Like, I don't know any of them off the top of my head. There's like loads of them. They just post loads of random shit about stuff going on and loads of like social media stuff. Social media news, but then they sometimes like chuck little weird facts out, and they gave me that bloke, but they didn't say anything about it. They were just like, they just showed the picture and they said, this man comes in many people's dreams.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't on one of those random Instagram pages where they post inspirational quotes.
Yeah, it might have been.
It honestly could have been. You're the type of guy to follow those pages and wake up in the morning and read through them.
Yeah, and then like send them to a few friends.
Just in case you've been feeling down, man.
Yeah, I just tagged them. I'm like, I think this one really speaks out to you. Fuck off. It's like a quote from Cheryl Cole in 2014 or something.
It's a Leo DiCaprio quote from Wolf of Wall Street.
Hey, Leo DiCaprio. His quotes should be held with a lot of respect. Right, he's a good bloke.
All right. Well, going into the Dream Man though, because that is obviously the topic we've chosen for this podcast. Because bloody hell, is it weird?
Bloody hell, is it weird?
Bloody hell, is it weird? I don't know why I'm not swearing as much as I normally do.
Yeah, it's because it's just the pressure, like that I spoke about earlier with the whole media coverage that we're going to get so much now.
Definitely. When we eventually become probably the top podcast on Spotify. I can't lie. That's where I'm expecting us to go.
Yeah, I'm going to get a DM saying, "Well done, man. You're doing great this year" from Joe Rogan, and I'm not even going to reply to it. It's going to, right?
Just completely air Joe Rogan.
Yeah, leave him in my requested. But no, yeah, let's talk. What, like, if you were to explain the Dream Man to someone who doesn't know about the Dream Man, because let's face it, a lot of people probably don't. He's not really that relevant. But go on.
If I tell you about the Dream Man, basically, started off the theory at least was that he was a similar face that was showing up in different people's dreams. So I believe it was some kind of psychiatrist of sorts that was talking to some patients, and the face of this man, as has been known, was originally drawn in one of their meetings, and later on, another patient saw this and was like, "Hold on, this same person has been showing up in my dreams." Yeah, who's this fella?
Hang on a second, I know him.
Is that Mickey from down the pub? No,
Yeah,
it's the Dream Man.
It's the Dream Man. He's got mighty eyebrows, hasn't he?
He does. His eyebrows are impressive.
We should put up like a little photo of him.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go that extra mile for you guys. I'll put up the Dream Man's face on screen right now. Bang.
He's good.
There he is.
I'm going to explain it from memory. It's there. So, but this is, I'm just thinking he's big. He's got fucking ridiculous eyebrows. He's a creepy face, to be honest. I think
he is. He's not a comforting face.
And he's a bigger recede than I've ever seen. It's just he's straight. He's one of those.
Worse than me, mate. His hair recedes more than me.
Yeah, I was gonna bloody name drop you, mate, but I thought, hey.
Let's not out him on the first podcast, but
yeah,
I've outed myself.
I thought that was something for the paparazzi to find out later on, mate. But no, yeah, he's an odd-looking fella. But it's a weird idea, to be fair. But there's something about him that it was like. So we say he's really creepy, and it's really creepy idea. He's not creepy, is he? Like what the people have said in the dreams. He's not a villain. He's not bad.
No, so yeah, that's the thing. There's numerous accounts of people seeing him, and I got a couple examples here. So
let's talk through some dreams.
We'll go through some examples, and some of them are almost, creepy towards him.
He feels a bit.
Yeah, so some people are making him a bit uncomfortable, but. Anyway, so the first person basically said, "I've had this recurrent dream for some years now. A tall, dark man shows me a picture and asks me if I can recognize my father in it. The man in this picture is the man I've never seen before. He looks nothing like my dad. Nevertheless, I inexplicably answer that I do recognize my father. At this point, I usually wake up feeling very peaceful. Other times, the dream continues. I'm standing before my father's grave. I place some flowers on the ground and I realize the photograph on the tombstone is missing." So this is an example of this odd fella kind of just coming along to almost comfort someone about obviously something very tragic that's happened in their life. And other examples too of someone that was running away from him at first, but then ultimately he guided them to leaving the nightmare.
Nah, mate, he's like one of those people who are trying their hardest to be good. Like they're trying to comfort you and be like I don't know. You see, like, when you see like a girl crying on a night out because she's just like had an argument with her boyfriend, and then you've got this sort of weird bloke who she like sort of knows because she does a seminar with him at uni or something. And he's trying to help out. He's like, no, it's all right. And it's like he's trying to do the right thing, but realistically, he should have let her get on with it after the smoking area, and yet he's still with her at the kebab shop, trying to be comforting. Like he means well, but he's an odd fella. If you ask me. And
eventually, someone who actually knows the girl sort of has to come over and go, "Don't worry, mate. I've got it. Don't worry.
Come on, mate. Go get your fucking kebab and fuck off." He's like he means well, and he'll do it again to someone else because he's trying to help out and he thinks that's the right thing to do, but people don't really want his help. That's what I'm sort of getting from the Dream Man.
But you also say that apparently he's a charmer.
Hello.
One person has said, I fell in love with him from the very first time I saw him in my dream.
Ooh.
That's what, love at first sight, they say?
Did they say anything else? Or did they
said, even though, if I think about it, I must admit, he's really ugly.
He's got impeccable chat. That's what that means. His chat game is phenomenal.
I could take a page out of his book, to be honest, if he's chatting up girls that well.
Yeah, and he's got eyebrows like that. It means but he is tall. He's a tall bloke. That's what the other one said, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's been described as basically just a tall, sort of quite a broad-built man, receding hairline, massive eyebrows, some nice big lips, to be fair.
He's got the foundations.
He's got the foundations for a handsome fella, but he's just a little bit old.
Yeah, he was probably back in the day, in his youth, he was doing well, but now he's like, again, he's still hanging out at clubs at his age, and it's like, come on, mate, no need. You need to be watching Casualty and then Match of the Day.
You've got work in the morning, mate. Come on, gotta take care of the kids tomorrow, mate. Come on.
You've got like a pet Labrador. Like, what are you doing out in the club? There's no need to be here. It's like, it's silly. All right. Any other dreams? Any other fun ones?
There's a huge list of dreams, I guess. But I'll tell you the strange thing is, the most recent account, they have a Facebook page called Ever Dream This Man. The most recent account was only 5 months ago.
See, that's what I was saying. It's like it was. Wait, when did we say it was? It was like early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah.
But like, it's not. It's one of those things that people have been like, they're obsessed about. Like, it's not one of those, like, you know, those social media trends that are like a big thing. They're fucking massive, and then you don't even like remember them after like a couple of months. They're like gone. It's not like that at all. He's like, people are still talking about it. Like, I saw a thing that was loads of people have like convinced themselves. It's almost like a sort of placebo vibe that they've seen this guy. But it's like, it's that the idea. If someone says, "Oh, everyone's seeing this person's dream," you're like, maybe I have. But that's probably why, if there's a story.
Yeah. Who knows? It could be, you know, just from people reading the story.
Yeah.
Could be from, you know, the reality of this, the possible reality of the situation, that he actually does show up in people's dreams to guide them.
Yeah, because there's a few theories I've got here, like talking about that. So people have like broken it down. I don't know whether this was people trying to explain this, or whether it was like the original person who spoke about the Dream Man said these are what it could be. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Right.
So yeah, there are different theories to describe it. So the first one is like it's like a psychology sort of vibe. It's called like archetype theory. I'm reading these out here. It's called according to Jung's psychoanalytic theory. So it's
a
like
tough word, mate. Don't worry, that is a tough word.
I did A-level psychology and I'm struggling. All right, so you know it's fine. I'll move from it. But no, he's like, apparently he's like a collective part of the unconscious. So everyone's got him hanging about, and he only comes around when everyone's like going through sad times. But he's very good with sensitive subjects, apparently.
To be fair, I would welcome him to one of my dreams if he's actually an alright guy.
Yeah, but I haven't asked for him to come. That's the problem. He's just rocked up. So like, he could be great, but it's the sort of
he's the guy that you didn't invite to the party, even though he might have been alright to have.
Yeah, he's like the sort of person where it's like, you've got your mates asked you, be like, "Oh, can so and so come?" And it's him, and it's like he's not like a particular threat. Like, he's not like gonna cause a mess or be like particularly rowdy. He's just like, he's gonna be there. He's gonna. I'm not about him. But then the other theory is a religious theory, which is saying he's like a creator. He's like one of the forms in which God manifests himself today. So it says this is the reason why his indications and the words that he says should be followed. But I mean, I'm not being funny. Would you choose to come looking like that bloke?
Hey, to be fair, those are godly eyebrows, some would say.
Yeah, his eyebrows, brilliant. He's got a sort of like Gallagher vibe. But I don't know if I like the hairline is it's poor, but you
No,
know.
yeah, you would think if you were going to choose a form to take, you would take the most pleasant, comforting form possible.
Yeah, if you think you've either got this sort of lanky, big eyebrow, balding man coming up to you being like, look, I can help, or you've got a sort of fucking, I don't know, who's like the most, like David Attenborough, even like that sort of aesthetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe like an old fella who's just like really adorable, and you kind of want to listen to him, even though he might be just blabbering on about bollocks.
Yeah, because I was thinking first, I was gonna say like fucking like heartthrob bloke, like Chuck sort of DiCaprio or Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp sort of vibing, but I think go for the sort of just the gentleman coming on in. He's helping out, not this sort of big lanky prick. But the other theory is it's called a dream imitation theory. It says it's a scientific psychosociological theory, which claims it's okay. Yeah. So this was like what we were saying. So it's like people have seen this idea that yo, there's this guy who comes in your dreams, and they're so impressed by it and weirded out that they think about it, and so then they do dream about it. Because when you dream about things, it's like it's things that have happened in the day, isn't it? Like you can have like the smallest thing, and it can then
Yeah,
manifest.
it tends to be to do with actual things going on in your life, and well, to be fair, not necessarily things going on in your life, but even if it's just something you've watched on the TV or in a movie or anything like that. I occasionally dream I'm like best mates with Leonardo DiCaprio, just the odd thing like that.
We've
Because
dropped his name several times in this podcast. To be fair, I think he's that close to hopping on in.
I'm gonna
But
say, I'm gonna put it out here now. Leo, if you want to come on the podcast, just let us know anytime. Shoot
you're
me a
more than
DM.
welcome. We've we'll leave him in the waiting room for like just like a couple of minutes to show that we're used to hanging out with A-list celebrities.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah, yeah. Show that he's. I mean, you are something special, but we kind of have to act like we're just as cool as you are.
yeah. Like this theory though is fucking wild. It's like the most bullshit theory, but it's like a fun one. It's called the dream surfer theory. And it's like it's got the lowest scientific credibility, obviously. But according to this bloke is a real fella. He's a real man, and he he has psychological skills so that he's able to like jump into people's dreams. So he's like, I'm imagining him in this sort of room looking over a fucking, I don't know, like a glass ball, crystal ball, just fucking looking in, and he just jumps on in and he just gets involved.
So
So
he's literally a superhero, basically.
yeah, and he's like, that's fucking creepy because that's like because he makes people like follow decisions. So what if he's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like he could like hop into people's that he knows to make them make decisions that like benefit him.
Kind of a god complex almost. Like he feels like he belongs there or something.
Yeah, he's not. He's probably unemployed, just at home.
Yeah. He's like, everyone needs my advice.
It's like everyone would be better off if I was some lanky prick jumping about their dreams.
He's the guy we're doing the party analogy, right? He's the guy at the party that just wants to talk to you about your feelings, but you're just like, mate, this is not the time. I'm here to party. I'm here to have a good time, not to have you blabbering in my ear about what you've been eating for breakfast to have a healthier diet, which has improved your lifestyle. Like,
he's like the guy where you go over the party and you're going over just to fix up a drink, and you see someone you don't really know him, so you just go, "Oh, you're right, mate," like that. But that's the extent to what the conversation should be. Maybe like, "Oh, how do you know whoever's party this is?" But then he like keeps you there, and then you have to have that thing where you're sort of leaning against the fucking counter at the kitchen, just talking to this bloke, and you can see all your
he
mates.
goes, actually, mate, I'm not all right.
Yeah.
That's when you know. Oh god, now I'm
Yeah,
stuck
you're
here.
like, you're right. Not really, actually. It's like, oh, fuck's sake, here we go. Because then you can't just walk off, so you're stuck with this stupid prick who no one knows how he got in. Final theory we've got is the daytime recognition theory. Yeah, okay, so this is like this one I feel could be the most realistic. So it's like, what we were saying about how your dream is made up of like things that you've seen in the day. Like there's that whole idea that no face that you see in your dream you haven't seen before. Like you could have just walked past them in the street.
Yeah.
So they're just saying that this fella, he's just bits of like things that people have seen. in a day, and then people are seeing this photo and they're like, well, yeah, I must have seen him, because it's just like that face could easily just be like a weird like build up. It's like a Mr. Potato Head.
So he's an amalgamation.
Yeah, but like of things that you've seen in the day. They're just like normal things you've seen in the day. But like I don't I don't get how that would make him act the same though, of this weird like spiritual leader and guider that he is in everyone's dream. But you know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the similarity there is that's just people who are needing a bit of help at that point in time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they just need to pick any face that that they don't recognize.
So that could mean though that like for the rest of the time, if he's not hanging out with people in need, he's just having a great time in people's dreams. Like he's not always guiding people in sensitive things. He's sometimes just sort of hanging out, having a good
Yeah,
time.
to be fair, he might have been a background character in one of my dreams. I just may not have noticed him.
He's like a henchman.
Yeah.
Been out a couple of times. But yeah, no, they're the theories. There are a lot of theories. So people have put the effort in about him.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a lot. Many like news outlets talked about him from what I've seen, but ultimately, the sad part of all this was that it came out to be a fraud.
It's fucking bullshit, isn't it? What we're chatting about lies.
Yeah, but it's still interesting, right? Because the theories still relate to other well-known theories, like Laszlo's theory, I believe it is. Which is, I won't go too much into detail about it because I'll be honest, if you don't like physics, it's probably going to sound pretty boring. But his theory is basically just to do with that all information is actually held in energy fields, just like sort of throughout the world, the universe. And that's how people can sometimes attain information that they shouldn't really know. So basically, it's just saying that thoughts don't reside within your head; they reside in the ether. To sound all magical and mystical.
Yeah, that sounds like a big like cloud in the sky where all these things are sort of dwelling, and then everyone just gets their information from there.
But I do think it's interesting how it relates to that, because it could show that if the knowledge of this man was just around in the ether, he could just be seeping into people's heads somehow.
Realistically, a few people could have dreamt of him just by like seeing that photo, and then if people are that interested in it, then they think about it, and then it's in your mind and you're thinking about it, and then you dream about him hanging out. But in that sense, he'd be completely different for everyone. How he'd be a right bell end in one of them. He could be a right cocky prick in one, but then in another one, he's like all right, and he's just sort of hanging out, or he's just like working in an office and you just walk past him.
The other interesting thing is that whilst obviously it was like debunked as fake, and we can sort of explain that, obviously when you hear things like this, there's always people who are suspicious that it's actually real. They look into it a bit more and ultimately they find out it's fake. And basically it's called a guerrilla marketing stunt, and which is just to use a very unconventional way to promote some kind of product. This being creating a complete false identity, almost omnipotent entity that goes into people's dreams, which apparently that's an advertisement. But
it sounds like the sort of thing someone would have done in lockdown. Not then. They're that bored. They're like, let's jump in some people's dreams with this weird bloke. Like that. Like I don't really get what the intentions were with that.
Yeah, that's the thing that's confusing. No one knows what it was even advertising. Like looking at that face, listening to these theories, what do you get from it? That I need mental help? That's like what?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Unless it was because like what I would have thought first is if it was some sort of because it was bought, wasn't it? The idea was then bought by like a horror production company or something.
Yeah. So the website where all the information was stored was bought by Ghost House Pictures.
Yeah. So that idea I sort of get. I'm not particularly into those sort of films. I don't know. I think they're a bit, I don't know. I have no interest, but like I get that because it's like they could be promoting it, and it's then creating a more sort of, I know, sort of interactive thing for the film, making it more scary because like a load of people thought it was real. And then they have this film, so they have a background for it, but they haven't even done shit like that. It was like 2008 or something. So
Well,
it's
that's
like,
the thing. It could have been a long-term plan, right? That it was one company was to create this enigma, and then another company would buy it out and make a movie surrounding the theory. That could have been the long-term plan. But
yeah,
to this day, that movie's still not been made. The film production company, Ghost House Pictures, bought it with the intention of making a film about this man, but they haven't made the movie. So
and I don't even want to see it now. To be honest,
I can't. I'll be honest. I would watch it if a movie came out to do with it. I would watch it.
nah, I wouldn't. I'm making a podcast about it now, and I wouldn't watch it. Got no time for him.
Got no time for it. It's like, I already know the story. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah, it's bullshit. There was like a load of people were saying, who were they? They were saying he looked like a celebrity as well. What was his name? It's the guy that writes musicals and stuff.
Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yeah. So imagine like an incredibly lanky Andrew Lloyd Webber jumping into your dreams, trying to help you out with really sensitive topics. So if you think about it, all the examples we've given about the guy helping the girl after a breakup on a night out, and then the fucking guy in the club, all these people, imagine that, but now imagine it's Andrew fucking Lloyd Webber hanging out at the party, following you around. This doesn't get better. He's not particularly like, I don't know, I wouldn't have invited him in the first place.
Typically, I wouldn't say no to Andrew Lloyd Webber. But if it was any other bloke.
That statement taken out of context, mate.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Let me rephrse that. Typically, I would never, ever, ever say no to Andrew Lloyd Webber. No.
You're gonna make a song about this, Andrew?
Yeah, you know what, Leo? Sorry, you're not on next podcast. Andrew's on next podcast.
A fucking podcast with me, you, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, that would make headlines.
I think we'd be blotted out though, because Andrew would be taking it as an opportunity to get Leo involved in a musical.
Yeah, that's true.
Our musical assets aren't quite that standard. So.
Hey, I've been in a play before. I was in Romeo and Juliet back in school.
Who are you?
Benvolio.
Oi! So I acted a bit in for year 6, right? And I was Tybalt. You know, the fucking hard boy from, and there's a scene where I had to say, what was it? I'm acting as if I don't know. I actually really do know. It was like, turn the Benvolio, look upon thy death. There you go. So I made you look like a right mug.
Oh, was this in the big fight scene where the two families clash?
Yeah, it's like, have you seen the DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet where it's all like modern day? They've got like guns and shit.
Yeah, that was when we were in school and they'd bring out the big TV and they would chuck on a movie. That was the one you always hope came on because that was probably my favorite of the English movies that you were allowed to watch.
Yeah, and they had like that all happened in a petrol station, wasn't it? And they're like, and I've forgotten the actor who plays Bob. He's called like the Prince of Cats, and he has like weird like facial hair. So, you know, which I'm using my lockdown time to work on my beard game. I know you've noticed it.
Yeah, no, I mentioned it before the podcast. You guys just didn't hear. I promise.
Yeah, it's getting a bit, if anything, in the way now. So
I did actually shave yesterday.
Specifically for the podcast. That's
why I'm looking just very baby faced right now, to be honest.
Very trim, mate. Very, very, very ready to go.
I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'm ready to go wherever it is.
If the opportunity comes up.
If there's an opportunity for me to go somewhere, as you know, the big L word, as we're currently in lockdown, I'm happy to take it.
What are you doing in lockdown? How are you hanging out?
I started making a podcast. Don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Apparently, fucking DiCaprio's thinking about hopping on.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Not the web.
The Webmeister.
Not the web. He's gonna hop on if he's got time. He might jump on. Yeah. Wow.
I said I'd be in one of his musicals as a favor in return. You know.
as a thank you, like a fucking Zoom musical.
No, but the this man theory, I know we just sort of brushed over that quickly. That was basically the long and short of it. Was a group of people made up uh, a theory, or not even a theory. They made up
It was like an idea. It's a concept, isn't it?
a concept. Yeah, that there was a man that appeared in numerous people's dreams, guided them to a happier life, and it all turned out to be a fraud as a marketing strategy. Still to this day, no idea what it was marketing, but it's just kind of interesting because this type of psychology isn't. It's not uncommon, like to have similar imagery, but this man, just how creepy he was, I think is what made it so interesting.
That's what drew it in. But like I was saying to you as well, even though it's been like publicly outed, because they I saw this thing, so they asked the people who made it. They were like, "You've scammed everyone," and they were like, "No, we've never scammed anyone." They were like, "If you actually like Google, is this man real?" That it says from the start, it's like, nah, it's not. It's not saying it's definitely real, apparently. So it's like, but there's still people now who are saying like, nah, they like swear by it. They swear they have seen him. So that's surely a placebo thing, isn't it? That's like if they weren't shown that picture, they wouldn't have been like able to like describe him if someone said it.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of we attempted to dream about him. That's why we were up late talking about him so much in an attempt to get him to appear. But
trying to summon him.
we tried to summon him, yeah, but couldn't manage it. But yeah, I think why did we even start talking about dreams? That because we weren't just discussing this man.
We were talking about lucid dreaming, weren't we? So we were talking about how we could like all just like hang out, inception it up.
Because I've never been able to lucid dream. The best I've got is being aware that I'm in a dream and just not being able to wake up, which was terrifying.
That shit.
I think it's called dream claustrophobia, like dream claustrophobia. It's not quite sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Mate, I saw that because I thought, you know what? Because it'd be like a huge video game, but with you running around in it. Like it would just be like a film. So I was like, this could be kind of fun. And then I read that, and I was like, no, not risking it. My little like nervy self.
Yeah. Well, have you heard? Oh, actually, completely off topic. Have you? Well, not off topic, but have you heard of I think his name's William Hoff.
No, who's he?
So basically, he became a visionary almost because so he has an app, for example, which just teaches you how to live a happier life. Like he's just one of the happiest people on the planet. I'm pretty sure he also walked up Mount Everest, or not Mount Everest, but some kind of mountain barefoot.
That's silly.
He just sort of teaches you how to have like a strong body, a strong lifestyle, a happy lifestyle, and it's by doing things that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So he has like people have cold showers. He has freezing showers, like temperatures that should cause you health issues. He just casually hangs out with them.
That's fine. I thought you meant like a change of lifestyle, like go to a Zumba class once a week or something.
Well, he does do things like that as well. Not a Zumba class, but and this is where it links back to the dreams. He has this breathing technique, which because it like the oxygen, I think you lose oxygen in your head, or you have too much. I don't know, to be honest. And he calls it a release of like your negative energies, your trauma. And like I've seen videos of people doing it, where people can either just laugh loads, they can like start having like fits almost because they're like releasing it, but they're like asleep, like they're not conscious during it. So
what?
That's kind of like interesting because who knows what they're like dreaming at that point, you know?
But like how much like that's one of those things where it's like how much of it is like, now I don't want to summon any fucking spirits or bullshit like that, but you know, like what's it called, like a Ouija board or something like that. Is that the one where you put your hand on the
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, Ouija board, yeah.
Yeah. So again, right, I'm not tempting any fate here, all right, but like that, there's that whole thing of like, yeah, it could be your mate Darren fucking pushing it around with his hand to try and cause an
Well,
upset.
that's the thing. I don't think the William Hoff thing's fake. He's definitely done like all of those. Like I've seen videos of him doing all of those superhuman type things, like the climbing of the mountain and whatnot. But yeah, he just doesn't seem fake. Like none of it seems fake. He's had numerous people come in, document him. He's written a book. It all seems realistic, or not realistic. It seems fake, but it looks real. Apparently,
There are those cool guys like with the things. Have you seen? I don't know. There was a documentary on it. The people who do like extreme weather stuff. So he's like, I don't know. It's like fucking Arctic or something, North Pole, or is it like it's either there or like Alaska or something like that. But anyway, it's this guy and he's just literally he's got his rig out. He's walking along in like budgie smugglers, but just like barefoot, just walking along this ice, these sheets of ice, this snow, and then he just swims in the water. But like he's fine. He just carries on. It's like ridiculous.
so he swims in like minus temperature water.
Yeah, like frozen. And there's another guy who's called what do they call him? There's something like Yeti or something because he's a surfer. He's a surfer, and I think it's Alaska. Might be Alaska. I saw like a Vice documentary on it, and he like they call him it because he comes out the water and he's got this big beard. He has like a wetsuit. You know when they have the wetsuit hood, so he's got that on, but then he's got this beard which is just completely frozen. So it's just snow and like ice just in his beard, but he just carries on. He's fine. He just goes and has like a soup. And then
That's
he's okay.
crazy.
I don't know how they do it. It's like it's nuts. Yeah, he like look him up. He just goes and like hangs out in the cold and he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how long it would take to condition yourself to something like that.
He's a lifeguard as well, I think, which is pretty sick. Or like he saved people. He's not. He might not be a lifeguard, but he's like saved people. So that is like that's sick. He just jumps in and he's like fine. He's like it's a bit warm today.
Yeah, it's a bit sad to be honest. When you think about all of these people doing these superhuman things, and I get out of breath when I walk to the shop.
Taking 5 before going into the one stop.
No, it's not even funny. That's the thing. Like maybe before all of this, I was a little bit in shape, but now it's a bit of a state now. To be honest, I can constantly use asthma as an excuse, but at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say just whip out the inhaler every now and again.
Yeah, I just I pull it out and I go, what can I say?
Yeah, it's fucking sad. You just go sad. I've been cursed with this.
Everyone's like, oh, we need to get there quickly, and I'm like, oof, that's moving a bit too fast for me.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm a fast walker, and I get to the destination A to B quickly because I don't see the point in walking slowly. There's no point in walking slowly. I don't get that.
I do walk fast. To be fair, you know I walk fast. It's just anything above that, like sort of 5 mile per hour pace. That's a bit much for me.
Any sort of light jog, and you're not keen.
Yeah, I attempted to once. I will pat myself on the back for that one. I attempted to go for a 5K run. I was not in a good shape afterwards. I felt very ill, but you know.
I threw up.
Success is success.
I had to get like the St. John's ambulance. Can you remember them at like school football tournaments and stuff? You'd have the St. John's ambulance. You'd always have to run on because one kid had like pulled his hamstring.
That's you see, the issue there is that would have had to have meant I was playing football.
Hey, look, I was shit at football, but I was committed to the game. So I got the job. They used to call me though. I had a pretty fun nickname. They used to call me Twinkle Toes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm not gonna make a joke about that.
No, I'm thinking it's sort of Ronaldo vibe. I chucked a few overs in once. And,
light on your feet. That's kind of what it's implying.
Yeah, I like one tournament. I remember I spiked my hair in like a full mohawk. Like there's this footballer who has it because I thought people would think I look good, and so I'd get this slight advantage. And then, I mean, it wouldn't be great when I hadn't started for the first like 10 games, but then when I came on. I was again shit. So you know,
and that's why to this day you always have a shaved head because you're just terrified of having a mohawk again.
It would just become in part of me. I suddenly thought, no, I'm growing out the buzz cut. It's like it seems like I'm either fucking saying, "Oh, I wish I didn't have a buzz cut. I wish I had longer hair," and then as soon as I actually achieve that, shave it off. So it's bad, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick to it now. I'm gonna stick to it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you traditionally all the time you cut your hair. Why do I use the word traditionally?
Traditionally.
Traditionally, you shave your head. No, you always. I'm trying to remember the word that means all the time, but you cut your hair, you shave your head all the time, basically. And
Yeah.
but then you had a lot of us, myself included, that decided during lockdown would shave our heads to see how it looked.
Yeah.
I thought it would be funny. I didn't think I'd look good. I thought it'd be funny, and I got that exact result.
It's very funny. That's what I was different. I was growing my hair. I got my hair from lockdown. This is really boring for some people, but like I got it down to there. I was DiCaprio. All right, I'm putting it out there. That was my icon. All right, I was going for it, but I then got it, and I was sitting watching TV over there, and I thought, no, this is in my way, and I buzzed it, and that's silly now when I think about it because it makes me look a bit weird. I give off sort of chimp vibes.
Chimp vibes.
Yeah, I feel it's dark, so I've got that, and I've got quite some. Yeah, we move. We're knocked down. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, that is the thing. To be fair, I've been trying to because I think keeping up your appearance, like even if you're not doing anything, stops you from feeling just crappy. But there have definitely been days and weeks where I always shower. I will say that I always shower. Can't go a day without showering.
Good.
But there have definitely been
21-year-old man. Like.
Listen, all right. Sometimes I just want to pat on the back for the little things.
Yeah, that's weird. What was it? I got bored again. I get bored really quickly. So it was just before lockdown, but I was basically in lockdown. I tried to dye my hair. I thought it would look cool. I'd seen this I don't know. I'd seen someone on Instagram. They had like a bleached hair, but like a buzz cut. I thought, hey, this could look quite. I was keeping the Slim Shady vibes like out of my mind. So I thought that's what would come. And then it was just. Mate, it was just fucking orange, and I was like, oh, I'm expecting this. You then just tone it up. Bullshit, mate. Didn't work. So it was orange, and then I had to shave it so short to get it out, and it was horrible. And I had to wear a hat all the time because I looked.
Did you bleach it yourself, or did you have someone there helping you?
But yeah, I had like my sister doing it, but like neither of us knew shit all about it.
I was gonna say maybe like have someone that has some experience, but.
Well, that's the thing, because like my mate had done it, and I knew fucking bleaching it at home was a dumb idea, but I thought, look, I'm bored, I'll do it. And he was like, yeah, it comes out yellow, and then you just got to like tone it up. But it turns out I spoke to him the other day. I bought the wrong stuff. So,
oh, that's why it went wrong.
Well, it wasn't technically the wrong stuff. It was just like not the one to get or something. But yeah, it was a learning curve. It was a good moment. And
yeah, so
again,
that one day when you get bored again and decide to try bleaching your hair once again.
Don't do it. Or get someone else to do it. My mum was like, look, now this is for all the times that you say you don't understand, Mom. Learning moment. And it was. But that's lockdown for you. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think everyone did like something with their hair. I don't know like a single person that. Well, guys, I'm talking more for a guy perspective here, to be honest. But most guys I know just decided they were like, this is the one time that I'm not seeing anyone, so I'll shave my head, I'll dye my hair.
Mullet
just
was
trying a new look.
Mullet was another one that like it's like popular now. Those people like a mullet. Maybe I'll go for like a mullet, go really rogue.
I wish I could grow one, but mine just becomes like thick. It doesn't like become long.
No, that's what they want. They want that, and then they have it all like curly. It's all like
it's I don't know. Maybe I just haven't passed that point. You know, maybe I haven't passed that point of because it's always a bad point, right, where it looks gross, and you just have to like stick through it, get back to normal.
Well, I reckon the next season is out. Casey's going to be getting a mullet, bleached ends on the mullet.
A bleached end mullet? No, that is not happening.
Fringe. Maybe like a tattoo there as well with a shave. That'd be kind of cool.
I would bleach my hair.
No.
Just for curiosity's sake. Not bleach my hair, but dye my hair some other color for curiosity's sake. Because I'm not too.
You'd look like you'd work in CEX if you had. Or like HMV. I put a beanie on for the first time because it was cold out. I only wear them. I wear them for cold temperatures, and I put it on, and it looked like I was gonna have a stretcher and be telling you where like the band t-shirts were upstairs in HMV. You know,
Oh,
kind of liked it.
I wear a beanie most of the time. To be fair, I look like the type of guy who works in like a record shop when I wear a beanie. Because I always wear like a beanie and glasses, so yeah, I look like the kind of guy that talks to you about indie music. And if you can't name 10 songs from the band, you're not a real fan.
And you only go to like an independent coffee shop. You don't, you like hate Costa and anywhere like that. You only go to
only domestic sellers.
One shop in Soho.
One shop in Soho. And I don't even know what half the words mean in the name of the coffee, but it tastes good.
You're like, wow, it just looks brilliant.
You don't know what a choca mocha loca something is? Yeah.
You know? You get it. You bring your own cup. Bring your own. That's good. You should bring your own cup. Save the fucking polar bears, but don't be the guy that we're describing.
Unless you are, in which case, keep doing you.
But like to a lesser extent.
But yeah, to a lesser extent, just do you, just not around me.
But yeah, to a more low key version. I liked talking about the Dream Man. I think that was a good one. That was a good podcast. Talking about the Dream Man.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I know we looked at a bunch of other theories actually. Because dreams, you'd be surprised how much there is online. Just talking about random dream occurrences.
Random shit.
Almost predicting that precognitive, that's the word. Precognitive dreams. Which I'm pretty sure, by the way, I can see the future sometimes.
I've had it in the extent where I've been like, I don't know, I've like seen a person crossing the road, right? And I've gone, they're gonna drop their bag. Right, that's gonna happen. Or I've been upstairs and I'm gonna be like, oh, my mum's gonna call me in a minute. And it's happened. And I thought, I know I've got a gift here, but I feel if I acknowledge it, I'll lose it all because they'll be like, no, he's going to use it for the wrong purposes or something. So I'm keeping it low level. But
See, the times I've noticed it was with music. So there's been numerous times where I've been thinking to myself about a song, and then suddenly that song will come on the radio or something. And now some people could say, like, you know, well, that's just because you're going to be thinking about the songs on the charts, and then that, you know, that's obviously the song they're going to play on the radio most typically.
But you're an old man and you don't know the songs on the charts.
I am a boomer. I don't listen to the charts at all. So it's just randomly I'll be thinking, oh yeah, I heard that song that one time, or oh, actually I like this song, and then it'll just be a random radio station that says, oh, a new song that's coming into the fray right now.
Whoa!
And then I'm just there like, whoa. Did I control that?
It's actually you and your band. You don't have a band.
Yeah. My secret band.
your secret underground band.
We do underground indie music.
In Denmark.
In Denmark.
That's your demographic. It's very niche.
Sorry, the Denmark people just love me.
You've just got a great Viking vibe. I've just said I've been watching it. Vikings. Alright, I've got into it.
I've never seen Vikings. I've seen a few scenes, but I've never seen it. It seems good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very Viking-y. You're a Viking fan. Watch Vikings.
Sadly, I can't talk to you about any TV shows because I just don't watch any.
Okay, that's fine. Well, who knows? Maybe in the future, a couple of new podcasts, we'll mention a few more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against. I think that's the point in this, though, isn't it? Is, like I said at the start, all the random things that we typically talk about, we just kind of wanted to put together on a podcast rather.
It's bullshit that's going on in mine. It's like it's not going to be on those things where it's like, hey, what do you want us to talk about next week? I don't give a fuck.
We don't care what you want to hear. We just want to talk.
It's things that I think is interesting, and that we had that one conversation about the Dream Man, and it was fairly interesting. So we thought we'll talk about
exactly. That's it. We got a group of, we'll call them researchers. It's secretly just the boys, but we'll call them researchers.
You know, because we're more like your best mate than your boss to the research.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, we're sort of David Brent vibe.
They also don't get paid, so.
No, they don't get paid. They're purely there for I don't know, fun. Just
Yeah.
great. Or they have nothing else to do.
They just enjoy being around us that much.
I've enjoyed chatting to you.
Yeah, I guess.
I had a good time chatting to you. We've been hanging out. It's like we're here in the same room.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like lockdown's already over.
But what even is lockdown? Well, we've got this going
Exactly, and hopefully all of our similarly lonely listeners
Christ.
could feel like they were here too.
Yeah. Oh, gee.
Because let's be honest, like I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're sat in your room by yourself right now. Nothing else to do.
Crying.
Right. Your mum's not cooked you the dinner you wanted.
Because that's the sort of problem that we have to face today.
No smiley potatoes.
I haven't had them for years. I think I've only had them a couple of times.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
Very good. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll get next time something interesting comes up, we'll chat shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We are very bored, and I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we come up with something new to talk about that's just ridiculous. But
we'll see.
At the same time, we're also extremely lazy. So who knows when we'll put the next podcast out?
Yeah. So it's an exciting one. So could it happen? Could it not? We'll see. I don't want to say I'm at that stage, where you don't want to like go, bye then, listeners. So I'm not. I'm just gonna say thanks for listening.
Yeah, cheers for giving us a listen.
Hopefully you enjoyed. If they've got to this stage, that's good.
Yeah, I highly doubt you made it the whole way through this, to be honest. Especially after the Dream Man. I think we just started talking about, I don't even know, we just talked about some random things.
Talk about Leonardo DiCaprio and shit haircuts. That was the sort of...
Yeah, by the way, once again, Leo, just DM me, yeah?
I know this great cafe in Soho, next to Record Bar. We want to meet up and we'll arrange something, Leo.
Yeah, they have indie bands, actually, that
you
come
probably
and
don't
play
know
live.
them. Yeah, you probably don't know what they do. So
you might even see me up there, who knows?
Maybe. Well,
that would be a secret.
I'll catch you in a bit then, mate.
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks for listening, everyone. And we'll see you next time.